Let's get to know what MGTOW is, where it came from, and understand its dynamics in the world we live in today. A man who has taken the figurative RP and decided that it is best if he goes his own way after realizing the truth about women and how they take advantage of and use men for their own personal gain is referred to as MGTOW, or men going their own way. Guys go their own way when women mistreat them and take everything away from them without remorse. Men who take the RP learn more about the truths underlying the dynamics between men and women and come to understand how much more successfully they can live their lives without contemporary women. So let's get to the A to Z of MGTOW and what men need to know about it. A MGTOW typically has 4 or occasionally 5 layers or levels. These have emerged in an effort to at least partially explain men's level of knowledge and how it has affected their lives. The first type of MGTOW, a man who is at the base level, also known as the purple pill man, is someone who understands how women use society, the legal and justice systems, as well as the different buttons they may push on men to influence them and solicit their support. At this point, the man is very aware of the risks, but he also thinks it's worth a try to find a happy ending with such women. They still harbor a naive hope, thus they are willing to take a chance. The level 2 male has completed his final course with a solid understanding of women. At this point, he accepts short-term obligations but rejects marriage and long-term commitments due to the significant risks involved. At level 3, the man reduces his interactions with women and abandons all faith in the dating scene. He is aware of what is coming and thinks it is best to keep out of it. At level 4, the man essentially avoids women to the greatest extent feasible. In order to avoid any confrontations with them, he transforms into a ghost and even ghosts them. Due to the ongoing drama he has experienced with women, the man is a little too extreme in his beliefs at this point. He's just done with them at this point. Which level do you believe you to be at now? Knowing that will make it simpler for you to understand where you fit in the dating world and how best you can interact or not interact with women. Because a guy who understands the truth cannot be readily used against him, but a man who is still unsure of the nature of women and wants to suppress his masculinity will be financially, emotionally, and even physically abused. He won't be forced into marriage as a means of resource exploitation and protection. It's also crucial to understand that, compared to a century ago, women are considerably more likely to have several lovers and casual physical partners in their 20s nowadays. Before choosing a charming, naive, easily misled BP guy who doesn't understand the realities of being a woman, they will sleep with a number of partners. One of the reasons men who've taken the RP go their own way or are MGTOW is because at some point in their lives, they've been betrayed by women and have gone through brutal divorces. They have seen firsthand how women use the system to take away their savings, vehicles, land, and most importantly their children along with their life's hard work away from them. Most of the people who are listening will have experienced some form of exploitation and manipulation from women, which made them finally realize that they need a much-needed reality check about women and understand their behavior. Also, there's a reason they say women age like milk and men age like wine. After their 30s, women age faster than men do. They often don't age well, and they know this. So the time starts ticking for them the moment they hit 30 and they realize they need to find a man who can provide for them and also tolerate their childlike and manipulative behavior for the rest of their lives. On the other hand, they say men age like wine. This is because men never use the dozens of makeup products that women do on a daily basis, and they start to earn more money as they age, which automatically makes them appear even more attractive to women. If by the age of 40, a man hasn't married or settled down with a woman, there's a huge change that he never will settle with one woman because he has seen it throughout his life how men are used and abused by women for their own agendas and put through random shit tests. These tests are like ways a woman will test a man's potential to be manipulated, show that he's submissive, and do everything he can to keep providing for her without showing his masculine traits. She breaks him down, demoralizing, humiliating, and taking him on an emotional guilt trip. This is also ironic because after a man starts doing everything she wants him to do, she loses her interest in him. Gentlemen, know this, a woman's love or care is always conditional, based upon your ability to provide for her a life that she desires. When she's done pulling out your soul through your wallet, she'll move on to the next man. Be warned. Men tend to do everything they can for women in order to be with them. They fight wars, build empires, make revolutionary inventions, and sacrifice their own lives. They do all of this unconditionally. On the other hand, a woman will only be there for you because of X and Y reasons. It's never really authentic. Because they are naturally selfish, women have been conditioned by society to think they are entitled to all of a man's resources. Women try to shame, guilt, and look down on males and say things like, "You're not man enough for me." Naturally, when men see this, they decide they don't want to participate in this unfair social game. But a man is always expected to grin while tolerating her spoiled, entitled, and selfish behavior. The contemporary guy is aware of this. And modern women find it offensive, which is why gender roles in Western society are so widely misunderstood. Some women that I've known have always believed that men who've taken the RP idolize someone like Nikola Tesla because he invented creations ahead of their time and spent his entire life devoted to improving the human condition. I mean, do you think this would have been possible if he had a nagging wife who insulted his intelligence all day and told him to either give him time or give his inventions more time? Not a chance. We would not have known Nikola Tesla if he'd been married because there's a 100% guarantee that he wouldn't have been able to invent anything with such negativity in his life. So, this is why men are now realizing that if they want to live a life of meaning and fulfillment, a life where they can dedicate themselves to doing something worthwhile, they need to stay away from modern women. Men who still want to marry and have children should postpone doing so while they are still in the United States or Canada, because if a divorce takes place, the system will have their children sent back to their mothers. They should have children in another nation, perhaps Thailand or Mexico, if they wish to. It's truly bad that so many men in this day and age have become MGTOW after being married and are now leading lives that are at odds with their morals and principles. It's very important for you guys to keep attuned to the RP reality so that you're never taken for granted or abused by your women. Then there are men who like to believe in the whole damsel in distress. They want to save or rescue women by providing for them financially and emotionally, getting them clothes, paying off their loans, and helping them out like angels. These guys get it the worst because once the woman is stable enough, she moves on to the bad boy who she's always liked. Men, being nice guys won't get you anything. You're only going to be used for a finite time and then discarded off. Other men just can't seem to get a chance to even go out on dates with women because they're just not physically attractive, either through their own faults or just by nature. And women find unattractive men repulsive, so they never agree to date them. In actuality, an unattractive male finds it far more difficult to succeed in the dating world than an unattractive woman does. These men frequently develop a terrible loneliness and accuse everyone and everything for their incapacity to be with women. Some of them travel abroad in search of ladies to date or wed. That doesn't really work out because raw female nature is universal no matter where you are in the world. Foreign brides typically travel to the United States in search of a passport and some financial security until they can leave their husbands for another or return home. The Japanese usually have systems where guys and girls get together in a service-level arrangement where they both understand what they want from each other and what they have to give to each other. For example, there's a girl who will just be your date for a certain amount of money. They can agree to whatever is on the table and whatever is off of it, and go out on a nice date that also includes the girl paying for lunch and the guy pays for dinner. I mean, it's a different idea, but I guess it works for many because in such an arrangement, you're not going to be tricked or manipulated into anything. It's all agreed to, even the physical bit. Understanding the genuine nature of women is crucial because it prevents you from experiencing a lot of hardship, abuse, and suffering. As women become more selective in who they want to be with, men need to be educated about what women genuinely seek in men and how men are vulnerable to their misleading techniques. Without men, society cannot and will never be functional. Men need to defend their masculinity and dispel any notions that being a man is a terrible thing. Make your own way by taking the RP. So this was the A to Z of MGTOW and what men need to know about it. I hope you now have a clear understanding of what MGTOW is and what MGTOW men stand for. Thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.